What's up guys, today I'm taking you with me for my process of making an NF type beat and showing you tips and tricks along the way. So, you can pretty much put NF songs in 3 different categories. Fast-paced trap, for example Careful, Suffice or Why. Sad pop rap, for example Let You Down, Lie or Happy. And finally, big orchestral rap, for example Hope, The Search and Clouds. The last category is the one that we will be tackling today, as we will be making a big orchestral beat with a slow build-up and a massive drop. So, let's get into it. So here we are. This is a full finished project. Now, it's time to dissect it. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is each and every pattern. We're gonna go through them all, talk about why they're there, and talk about what they do. So, let's start with listening to pattern 1. This is a basic piano with some reverb to make it sound a little bit more, spooky. So here we are in the piano roll. You can see the bass notes here. We start with D sharp, go down to a D, up to a D sharp again, up to an F, and then down back to a D. The song is in D sharp harmonic minor scale, and you're gonna see these bass notes progressions through basically every single pattern. And of course you can build chords, which I later do. With a D sharp minor, it's an F sharp and a A sharp. This is a diminished chord in the harmonic minor, so an F and a G sharp. Back to the first chord, and another diminished chord. And the last one is the second chord again. Like that. So basically we have a piano that plays the bass notes and goes down to a lower third in between. Okay, let's move on. We add pattern 2 to this. As you hear, pattern 2 is just the basic chords that I just described. A similar piano to pattern 1, but it just plays those long chord notes. Basic chords, nothing special about them. If we add pattern 3 to it all, so basically this is a cello, plays spiccato notes. At the beginning of each bar, plays 4 upwards notes in the scale. That is related to the chord. So for example, we know that the first bass note is D sharp. So it starts on D sharp and goes up. Same here with D, D sharp again. And then the 2 last one, it goes down instead to the bass note. So we remember the 4th bass note is F, so it ends on F. And the same thing for the last one. Let's add pattern 4. So as you hear, this is a very evil sounding cello. It just plays the same chords as the piano over there, but it adds a much more harmonic vibe over the whole beat, and it instantly sounds more evil. Let's add pattern 5. So pattern 5 simply another cello that adds to those bass notes, only playing the bass notes, not the chord, just for depth. The key to these really big orchestral NF beats are layering. If you can layer a beat without it sounding like too much chaos, it will sound very big, very mighty. So, as we speak of layering, let's add another layer. So, we moved on from the cellos up to the violins. So, this is a violin that rises on every bar. So it starts with the bass note on D sharp, then goes up to the third note in the chord and the fifth note, and does that on every single bar, since the last two are only half-stepped chords. So is this violin. Let's add the pattern 7. If you have a very good ear for this, you might have been able to hear what that was. That was basically a horn playing the bass notes again. So, by itself it sounds like this. Sounds very like, you know, Star Warsy, epic, and gives that big orchestral feeling. Let's add another pattern to that. So again, just the bass notes playing. This time it was a tuba to add a little bit more of that low frequency to the beat. You know, helps with the depth of the entire beat. Next layer. So what we have here is a violin on spiccato playing every offbeat on each bar, following the original pattern's offbeat notes. So remember, the original pattern began with a D sharp and then went down to a B and up again. So this just plays the second note in each progression. We move on to pattern 10. So what this is an add to that earlier cello that was playing in the beginning of each bar. So this is a violin on pizzicato, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So it plays the same notes, except for that last bar right here, where it adds 2 extra notes in the end of it. Basically, just adds another layer to the whole thing. Let's move on to pattern 11. So pattern 11 is when the choir starts to come in. This is just playing basically the same thing as the violins did earlier. Each bar, it begins on the bass note and adds a third and a fifth. This is an all ladies choir, pretty high up. It works really well for the, you know, the big drop, the chorus part, where you need everything to be loud. So pattern 12, another choir. So this is basically a short choir, plays once for every bar, twice for every chord. So we have a D sharp chord, and so on in our regular chord progression. And it's just a short, so if you hear it by itself, it sounds like this. Just a short hitting choir. As you see on the last bar, we added one choir, but we moved the fifth note down one octave, so it sounds a little bit different. Just for that added tension in the end of the bar. Let's add another layer. So what this is basically the same melody that we listened to first of all, but this is another instrument. This is, I believe, a harp or a celeste. I'm not sure, actually, but it sounds like this. It's some sort of pluck. I would best describe it as a Halloween instrument. And another layer to the melody. So this is just exactly the same thing, the same melody playing over again. This is a string on pizzicato, playing very high up. Now we're getting to the fun part. So the things we have left is basically the build up in each bar, each hard hitting, each big hit in the beginning of each bar, and of course the drums. So we're gonna listen to that by itself. First of all, we have a pattern with an aggressive bass that plays in the beginning of each bar. To accompany that, we have a deep 808, long 808. To really get that big feeling, you know. And on top of that, we have a bass playing the chord on both spiccato and pizzicato. We have a big kick without much of the dryness and much more of the wetness. Basically a big kick with a lot of reverb. And then we have a harmonic rising cello, plays pretty high up to build that, you know, spooky tension. You can see that we don't use it a lot, we use it just for the big chorus. Kind of builds up to the end, and in the end it's really searing in the eyes. On top of that, we have a long riser down here at the end of each bar. Accompanied with another riser that's not as long. And there we basically have the hard-hitting bass notes in each bar. So basic drums, only playing in the chorus. We're gonna have a listen to them right now. I believe this is the kick pattern. very simple, accompanied with this snare pattern. And we have a hi-hat pattern as well, which I have not made. Gotta be honest about that. I really can't make hi-hat patterns. We actually have one more pattern that I forgot to show you. So this is a high long string playing in the second part of the chorus only, just to add that extra tension. So now that we have gone through all the tracks, we can look at the arrangement. So I start the track off by playing just these harmonic cellos together with the rising plucking melody. After that, the main piano melody as well as the chords come in. And as you see, we build up. This is about 1 minute 20 seconds into the song. We're still just building up everything. We are adding new things as we go until we have a lot of stuff here, but not everything. And then we have a small, I don't know if you can see it there. We have a small pause where everything is quiet. And then it explodes to this big chorus, big drop. And another small pause. And the second part of the chorus where those strings I just showed you comes in. And then we basically have the exact same thing. We start from scratch, build up to the same chorus with a simple outro. So it's time for the listen through. We're gonna listen from this intro all the way to the end of this chorus. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the music.
Seagull soaring beats.
So, there you have it. You can listen to the full finished beat here on my channel, as it was released as Born for This a while ago. Just click the link on the screen in some corner, I don't know, to find it. If you want to buy it, you can find it on my BeatStars, link in description. And I just lowered my prices on all my beats, so don't miss out on that. Anyways, you know the usual, make sure to hit subscribe, like the video, well, if you like the video, and leave me a comment what you want to see next. See ya guys!